All right, let's get right into it. If your big AI strategy right now is still about crafting that one perfect prompt, you're already playing yesterday's game. Today, we're talking about the only skill that's going to matter in the next era of AI, architecting entire autonomous teams. So, welcome to the future. Let's just be brutally honest here. The whole idea of the single prompt is over. It's a relic. If your strategy still revolves around having a conversation with a single chatbot, you are, and I mean this seriously, operating with obsolete technology. We're not having conversations anymore. We're building systems. And this really cuts to the core of it, doesn't it? While a lot of people are having fun generating cool images or summarizing articles, and hey, those are neat toys, the real work, the work that's building the next generation of business, is happening on a totally different level. We're not playing with toys. We're building infrastructure. So let's officially turn the page on that old way of doing things. It's really important to get why single prompt AI isn't just kind of inefficient anymore. It has become a genuine liability for any serious person or organization. You know, the shift happened incredibly fast. Through the middle of 2025, those single prompt assistants were basically as good as they were ever going to get. And then, bam, January 2026 hits. Tools like OpenAI's AgentKit and CrewAI 1.0 drop, and this wasn't just a minor update. It was a full-blown revolution. Suddenly, for the first time, we could easily get multiple AIs to work together on one complex goal. And just like that, the era of agentic workflows was born. So, what powered this whole revolution? Well, it came down to tools that made something impossibly complex feel, well, almost easy. Which brings us to the main event, the new skill battlefield, the Visual Agent Canvas. This is the place where you literally draw the blueprint for your new digital workforce. I mean, just look at the scale of this change. The old way, you're talking months of custom coding, a whole dedicated dev team, and you end up with something rigid and slow. The new way, a single strategist, one person, can architect and deploy a powerful, flexible workflow in a couple of hours on a visual canvas. This isn't just a small step up, it's a complete transformation of how work actually gets done. So what is it we're building with these new, powerful tools? We're building autonomous digital teams. We are building what I like to call the ghost department. Now, the core engine behind this is something like CrewAI. But here's the key. Don't think of it as software. Think of it as a framework for orchestration. It lets you design a whole crew of specialized role-playing AI agents that work together, completely on their own, to nail a complex goal. They operate just like a human project team, but without all the meetings and emails. Okay, let's make this super concrete. Let's say you need a big market research report. Instead of giving it to a person, you deploy a crew. First up is the researcher. This agent autonomously hits the web, databases, APIs, you name it, to gather and analyze all the data. Then it passes its findings over to the writer, who drafts the entire report. And finally, the editor jumps in to review, refine, and format the whole thing for delivery. A complete, hands-off, autonomous workflow. That is a ghost department in action. And now we get to the most important part, the results, right? Because a brilliant idea is meaningless if it doesn't deliver a shocking return on investment. And the ROI here, well, it's almost hard to believe. I really want you to absorb this idea for a second. In the world we live in now, efficiency isn't just a nice to have, it's a moral obligation to your company's survival. Speed isn't just a feature, it is the entire game. If you're slow, you are, by definition, becoming irrelevant. So keeping that in mind, what is the actual measurable dollars and cents return on investment when you orchestrate an agent workflow instead of using a traditional human process? Here's the answer. That market research report we just talked about, a skilled human analyst needs about 4 hours to do a good job. That's 14,400 seconds. Our autonomous agent crew, it does the same task, start to finish, in 45 seconds. Just let that sink in. Let's put a hard number on that. This isn't a 10% or even a 50% improvement. This agentic workflow is over 300 times more efficient. That's not a change in degree. That is a fundamental change in the physics of work itself. So let's bring this all home. What does this massive shift actually mean for you, for your career, for your value in the market? Well, it creates a very clear and very urgent choice. And this is the brutal, essential truth of this new economy. Your value as a knowledge worker is no longer in doing the task. It's in architecting the system that does the task. If you can't build and manage these crews, these ghost departments, then all of your work, all your output, simply becomes an expensive version of training data for the very systems that will replace you. So let's be absolutely crystal clear on the takeaway here. The single most valuable professional skill moving forward is the ability to architect, deploy, and manage these autonomous agentic workflows. Pretty much everything else is on its way to becoming a commodity. And that really just leaves one final question, a question you really need to ask yourself. In this new world, are you going to be an architect designing the future, or are you going to be the training data they learn from? The choice